Oregon Thursday. My name is Teresa Harper, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Oregon, as I said. And tonight, I am continuing on with my Regal Flora bundle feature this week. And tonight, we're going to be using this bundle to make a device. Of course, this bundle you can purchase to save 10% off the individual piece prices, or you could purchase just the stamp set or just the dies, however you wish to do it. Go ahead and set these aside. This has 7 dies. We're going to be using several of them tonight, and I have pre-done some cutting, and then it's a 10-piece clear cling mount rubber stamp. And of course, not all the stamps are in here because we're going to be using those. Now, in addition to the Regal Flora set, which has some very beautiful sentiments, I wanted to make this a Christmassy gift box. So what I am doing is I am using greetings of the season for my a sentiment on my box. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try and get this up and see if I can get the comments, which sometimes is difficult for me. Well, let's face it, every week it's difficult for me because for some reason, YouTube just does not make this easy on me. And I have not been able to figure out the key to finding the live chat for myself. So let's see if that's going to pop in here or what I'm going to have to do here because I don't quite see why it's not giving me the comments, but it is. There they go. Okay. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Margot Van Diver from California. Welcome. I'm guessing this is your first time watching. Hello, hello. Tracy, hi. And Jen, welcome back. I hope you like the project that we're doing tonight. Like I said, my greeting will be coming from Greetings of the Season, and we'll be using the Love and Joy from this. This is an online exclusive, which simply means that you won't find it in any publication. And so you'll have to go online to shop it or give this number 164325 to your demonstrator, and then they can order that for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to jump right in and let's get the stamping done. So I'm going to bring in some scrap basic white paper here, cardstock, and our color combination for this project is Shaded Spruce, Cherry Cobbler, Bubble Bath, and Basic Beige. Probably not the usual set you would, color combination you would think of. I did take some of these colors, these ones here, from the paper, the Regal Winter Designer Series paper. And the other ones I pulled in because I thought they went well. So let's start with the Bubble Bath. And I'm going to take the single floral image from the Bubble Bath. And we're going to just stamp one of those. And then that's all the stamping we need for that one. Now, some of these, my ink pads are too juicy, so we'll have to, I'll show you what to do. This is a distinctive stamp set, even though it's not actually marked that way. See this one, if you see bubbles on your stamp like this, for this particular type stamp, you do not get a good image. So I'm just going to clean that off. And I've got a metal spoon here. And I'm just going to take the back of that metal spoon and push my ink deep into my pad. Okay. And then when I ink this up again, I should get a very nice image with a lot of definition. Still not happy with that, actually. That's not me. There we go. This one, apparently I really need to give it. You can see the difference in the pad from when it goes from the dark to the light. I'm going to go ahead and give this a wipe as well, just to make sure that if I have any ink down in those crevices, there we go. Now you can see the difference in those images. This one's much better, much more distinctive. Okay, so we need to clean the bubble bath stamp here, and I'm just using my chamois. I'm going to give that a dry on my hands. I'm going to take the basic beige and I'm going to stamp that down. Okay. And then I'm going to take my shaded spruce, and I already know that this one was too juicy for what I needed, so I'm going to go ahead and press that down. And then I'm going to stamp this leaf image. This is my favorite leaf image in this stamp set, and it stamps beautifully. Now, you actually need 3 of these, and I got that too close. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to stamp it down there in that red, like so. There we go. Okay, so you need to stamp 2 more of those, but I've already done that to save us some time, so you didn't have to sit and watch me die cut several of the same images. Just going to give those a quick wipe. Get those out of the way. All right, so let's bring in our mini cut and emboss. And I want to get these through all in one run, so I'm going to actually take and trim these out so I can get them. Well, I won't get it through in one run. Well, actually, I've already got one of these done as well, so I don't need to do the 2 small flowers. I just need to do 1. Okay, so we've got that, and then we've got our large flower here, and we'll get that. All right, so let's grab those dies that we need, and we'll set those on and take a piece of mint tape and secure those so they don't move. This is the way I like to do it. I like to do it flat on my surface, get them all lined up, and then move them to the cutting plate. Okay, so I've got those ready to go. Let's bring in our machine. And then I can just add these to the plate. And because I've taped them, I don't have to worry about them moving. Okay. And then we'll throw those on there and run them through. Okay. And then you will also need to take with a piece of basic white cardstock and cut the Regal Floral shape, the specialty shape. And I've already done that, so we have that all done. And that's just in basic white. And when you cut that, you get this piece that goes around here. And of course, if you cut it in a different color, then you can do this. Now, what I like to do is if I'm using a different color and I don't need it to be completely saturated with the color, I like to take my Stampin' Blend and just color this. That way, I only have to run it through one time. I can make the outline whatever color I want it to be, and I can save some cardstock that way. Okay, so now we've got all of our pieces. Let's go ahead and move these out of the way because we don't need those. All right. And we are ready to make our box because this, well, let's go ahead and stamp this and then we can move forward. Okay, so let's grab that cherry cobbler ink again. And then all of our decorations are ready to go. And we can make the box, assemble, and be done. So I'm going to take the Love and Joy and I'm going to put this up at the top in the center, like so. And again, that comes from Greetings of the Season. It's the coordinating stamp set to the dies that I use quite frequently. And let's bring in our scoring tool. Okay, so we've got our Simply Scored. And let's see, I don't know if you guys are not. Oh, hello, Laura. I need to move my screen down. Hello, Sandra. Welcome. Okay, so let's take a piece of basic beige. You're going to need 3 pieces of basic beige for this box. Let's start with the actual box itself. This sheet of cardstock is 6 3/4 by 10 3/8. So let's start on the 6 3/4 inch side. Let's move this back so you can see the top. And let me let my camera, there we go. Now we're in frame. Okay, so on the 6 3/4 inch side, I'm going to score this at 1 inch, rotate it 180 degrees, and score it at 1 inch again. Okay, that ensures that if I didn't cut this exactly at 6 3/4 inch, my box sides are going to be the same no matter what. So now I'm going to rotate it to the 10 3/8 inch side. And I'm going to score this at 1 inch, 4 1/4 inches, 5 1/4 inches, 8 1/2 inches, and 9 1/2 inches. Okay, so again, that's 1 inch, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 8 1/2, and 9 1/2. And that is the scoring for our box. Now, let's bring in our divider pieces. We have 2 of those. So we have a piece that is 2 inches by 6 3/8 inches. And we're going to score this at 2 1/2, 3 3/8, and 4 1/4. Okay, so that's that piece. And then we have one more piece of the basic beige. And this piece is 4 5/8 by 4 7/8. So it's barely different. So you really have to pay attention. You got 4 5/8 and 4 7/8. Okay. So on the 4 7/8 inch side, we're going to score this at 2, 2 7/8, and 3 3/4. Okay. So 2, 2 7/8, and 3 3/4 on the 4 7/8 inch side. That is all of our scoring on this box. Okay. So let's start with our dividers. They're the easiest part first. So I'm going to start with the middle score of the 3, and I'm going to fold that away from me. And then I'm going to score or fold the other 2 scores toward me so that I have an accordion fold. Okay. So again, I scored the middle one back, fold the other 2 sides in. Okay. Now let's go ahead right here. We're just going to take this and we're going to put a little bit of glue here. You can use tear and tape or liquid glue, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to fold that on that middle score. And there's my divider. Okay. So that's what it should look like. All right, we're going to repeat that on the 2 by 6 3/8. I'm going to fold that center fold away and the 2 side folds toward me. And I'm going to give that a good press. And then I'm going to turn it over and glue those together, fold it. And again, I've got my little divider piece. Okay, so these are going to fit in my box like this, so that I have 3 sections to put my items in. Okay, oh, let me get that back so you can see. I hope I wasn't clear out of frame that whole time. Okay, so here we go. So we've got these pieces. All right. So that brings us back to our box piece. We're going to go ahead and burnish all of our score lines. It's the best way to get a nice, tight, squared up box. Easier to put together when your folds are nice and crisp. Okay. So you'll notice on this piece that you have one end that has one piece here, and then you have this piece that has 2. Okay. This piece here is your reinforced tuck inside box. Okay. Let me bring in our template so that you can see that. Okay. So this is the reinforcing front piece, which on here is over here. Okay. So we've got that. I'm going to start cutting here. So I'm going to flip this and I'm going to grab my scissors and I want to cut straight up on the rectangle, on the large rectangle. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this toward me and I'm going to cut up at an angle to the right of that score line and remove that section. Okay. I'm going to turn that now and I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to cut straight up on the rectangle. And then I'm going to angle cut toward the right-hand side and remove that score. Okay. So this is how I'm cutting. You should have straight cut and an angle cut. All right. So now my reinforced front is ready to go. And now these sets are just going to be tabs. So on all of these, I'm going to cut straight up on the large rectangle and angle cut on the square to the large rectangle. Straight up on the large rectangle, I go I'm trying to cut off that score line. So I'm cutting just to the right of that, okay? And then on the rectangle here again, I'm going to cut to the left this time because that's where my tab is. And then I'm going to angle cut and remove that score line. And I'm going to repeat that again, cutting straight up on the large rectangle, angle cutting on the square, and then I'm going to angle cut the outside of that as well. And that makes me nice glue tabs without a bunch of bulk. Okay, we're going to turn that around. We're going to repeat. Cut up on the large rectangle, cut out the score with an angle cut, straight up, angle cut the tab, straight up and angle cut the tab. And here is the last one. Okay. So now our box should look like our template. Okay, so here's our template. Here's our box. All right. Now, I'm going to bring, that's not work for me. I'm going to bring in a ruler because I don't have my grid paper down. And I'm going to measure between the signs on this end that has the two sections. This is a 1 inch section. This is a 7/8 inch section, and that's by design. And I'm going to lay this right here, 4 3/4. So half of 4 3/4 is 2 3/8. You could eyeball this part if you're good at it, but I'm not. So I'm just going to put my little dot there with my score tip. That tells me where my center is. I'm going to bring in a 1 inch circle punch. Not yet. Hang on. I got too fast on that. So I think, oh no, because I'm not cutting here. Do not do it here. Sorry, that is wrong. We're going to fold this in and it's not going to matter. We're going to measure on the single piece down here. And I'm going to flip that to the inside and measure. Sorry about that. Again, on this single end piece where we just have one side of the box. Okay, and that you'll understand that in just a moment. Okay, so this is our box top. This is our box front that folds over, box bottom, and this will be the box front inside, and this is our reinforcement. So let's go ahead right now so we don't get confused on anything. Let's take some tear and tape, and on this piece that doesn't have the tabs, we're going to take right at the end of this, and I'm going to take some tear and tape, and I'm going to burnish that down. I'm going to remove the backing, and I'm going to fold that in and burnish that tape. Now I can't get confused because this is now for sure my reinforced front, right? Okay, so again, that makes this my box top, box outsides, and my box front. Okay, so this is where we're going to put our designer series paper. I'm bringing in the Regal Winter paper, and either you guys are very quiet or my laptop has not updated on the, oh, and now I can't find the chat at all. Great, that was fabulous. Now I lost all the comments. Nope, there we go, now we're back. Okay, so we've got a piece of the Regal Winter Designer Series paper, and that paper looks like this. So you get 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. This is the pattern that I'm using. And then you get these additional patterns in that package, and you get 2 each of those double-sided designs. Okay? It's beautiful paper when you see it in person. So this piece of designer series paper is 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. Then I have 2 pieces of designer series paper that are 7/8 by 3 1/8, and 1 piece that is 7/8 by 4 5/8. And we're going to add all of these to our box. I find it easier to add the designer series paper before I put the box together rather than after. It can be done. I just prefer to do it this way. Okay, for some reason this basic is playing with my eyeballs. There we go. Okay, so let's line these up, put these on. Now this will be If you have directional paper, this side is going to go down, so you need to make sure that your pattern is top to bottom here. And then on this side, your pattern needs to be top to bottom this way, okay? So we're going to just, this one isn't necessarily directional, but I did notice that some of the leaves, even though in the pattern, in the larger pattern, they're all over the place, sometimes I just like to have it look like it's standing up here, even though the actual pattern, it may be going down. So I'm just looking at how that's going. And again, this piece needs to be top to bottom if you have directional paper. So we're going to put this on, okay? And now we're going to flip this over, and where I put that little dot, now I'm going to take that 1-inch circle punch, and I'm going to put just a little bit of a finger notch there. And because I did the designer series paper first, now my notch is out of both pieces. Okay, so we are ready to start putting this box together. So let's bring back the tear and tape. Now remember, this is the top of our box, and this is the bottom. So I like to start on the bottom. And where did I put? There it is. I put it away. I'm going to put 2 pieces of tear and tape on each of these tabs. If you don't want to put that much, then just put it along the score line at the top rather than at the bottom, so that you have nice tight corners when you put it all together. I don't like the outside flap to just be running around, flapping all over the place. So I like to do the equal sign here on my tabs. Well, hello, Melanie Foy. Thank you. So glad you could join us. Tracy, I'm so glad you like this paper. It is so beautiful, and it just does not look this pretty when you look at it online or in the catalog. The colors are just so rich and vibrant. Okay, so now we've got those. I'm going to go ahead and put my tear tape on these 2 tabs while I'm here, but these are not the ones going to be. I just like to do my tear tape all at once here. So, and I like to use a straight edge because it just works better for me. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces on. I'm going to go ahead and burnish all of those. Tear tape sticks better and longer if you take the time to burnish it into your cardstock. Okay, so we've got that all burnished and we're ready. So now, again, this is the bottom of my box, this is the top of my box. I'm going to remove all the tear tape from the bottom, and again, I'm probably out of frame. Let's move this back down so you can see. I need to pay more attention to that. Settings have changed, and I had to change with it in order to have a view that you could actually see that wasn't a mile away. Okay, so we're going to take these now, and I'm going to start here. This is going to be the back of my box. This is going to be the front inside flap. So I'm going to start with the back. I'm going to attach these 2 tabs to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to fold that up, basic beige to basic beige without the DSP, and I'm going to give that a nice tight corner, putting my cut edge to my score edge. I'm going to repeat that over here, basic beige to basic beige, and give that a press. And then I'm going to go to the front of my box and repeat that process cut line to score line, beige to beige. Okay. And then I'm going to give that a bend back. I'm going to bring in my score tool again, or my, oh man, just lost my train of thought there. It's not coming to me, sorry. Okay, now we can take and remove the backing from my tabs for the front. Okay, I've got those off. Now, because this is symmetrical, right? The top is the same size as the bottom. I want to make sure that I can fold this down and everything will fit nice and tidy. So what I like to do when I'm making these boxes, so I know that the top will fit nice and tight over the bottom, but still be easy to close, I like to fold it down like it's going to go. And then I'll take my tab, line it up while it's around that bottom, line up those pieces and press that in. Then I'm going to move to the other side, and again, I'm going to line that up over the bottom of the box and then line those in. Okay? By doing that, it ensures that when I go to open and close it, the top fits nicely over the bottom. Okay? I used to hate making these boxes because I would get it done, the bottom would fit, and I would struggle with the top going over until I discovered that if I fold it over and glue that top piece over the bottom, I will get a perfect fit every time. Okay, so there's our box. Now we're going to go ahead and take those pieces that we made earlier. Okay, so remember this piece is going to fit right in here. This piece is going to fit right in here. And I'm going to add this. Oh, thank you so much, Melanie. I'm so glad you're going to get some use out of that tip. Okay, okay, so now I've got a Bath and Body Works hand cream that's going to fit in that box. I've got a hand sanitizer that's going to fit right there in that section of the box. And what little gift is complete without a little bit of chocolate? So those little Ghirardelli squares are going to fit perfectly in there. And now our box is good. Okay, so we've got a little gift that you could give for any occasion. And it would be nice to have these made ahead of time so that if you need to give a little gift, you can just pop that and you are good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and decorate this. We're going to bring in that Love and Joy Regal Flora shape. And I'm going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're going to pop this onto our box. And then we'll build our decorations from there. Okay, now this shape kind of plays with my eyes a little bit. I want to go a little bit higher than lower, but I'm trying to put it in the center. And then we'll put that down. Okay, now let's bring in those pieces that we die cut. We've got a basic beige flower, a bubble bath flower, cherry cobbler, and then a Of course, I told you we have 3 sets of leaves. Okay, so we're going to put these in. This is going to go about like this, and this is where I'm going to start. I'll put this, actually, I think I'm going to go like this. And I need to grab my glue dots for this project. Glue dots are my friend. And I'm going to put a little glue dot there and one there. And remember, this is going to stick off, so you don't want to go too high. So I'm going to put this about like that. I'm going to barely push it down because I want to be able to pick it up and move it if I need to. So I'm basically just setting it there, which will make it really easy for me to move. And I'm going to give this a little bit of dimension with my thumbnail. Stick that in there. Okay. And then we'll do this one. Okay. I'm going to put this one up here a little bit. Now you need to make sure that when you do this, this does not stick beyond your bend, because then your box won't open as nicely. Okay, so let's add our large flower first. We're going to build everything around this. Okay, and I'm going to bring in some dimensionals for this. And I'm going to put 2 dimensionals here and here. And then we're going to add this about here. And again, I'm not pushing. And then I'm going to take another dimensional and I'm just going to put it down here in the center of my beige flower. And I'm going to stick this in here. And let's see. This one's not quite going to go where I want it to go. Let's go in here like this a bit, I guess. Like that. I don't want to cover up my sentiment. Okay, and then we'll get our bubble bath flower. Add a dimensional here. And these I've already smoothed with my fingers. And then, okay, we're going to need to move this. This is too high. I'm going to bring this back down here like this. And because I did not push, I can move that, which is then going to allow me to move this one down more into where I want it. Now this one is going to need a double dimensional because I put a dimensional on the label and a dimensional on the flower. So I'm going to add a double dimensional here. Just going to line those up, stack them on top of each other. And then I'm going to put this like so. Okay, now I think I'd like to move this one down just a touch, like so. Happy with that, I'm going to give those a press. Okay, now the final addition for this, if I can find where I threw them here, is the flat adhesive backed pearls. These are from the annual catalog. And I found they gave just the perfect amount of shine. And this flower has like this hole here, and I didn't like that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take these flat-backed adhesive pearls, and I'm going to stick those over the top of that hole in a little trio. Okay. All right, now we are almost finished here. You could be done. What did I do with my ribbon? Oh my goodness. It's right where it belongs. Okay, so we're going to take the cherry cobbler and gold satin ribbon, and I'm going to add this to my box. Okay, and I'm going to stand this up. I'm going to pull this out because after all, it is a gift and we would like to have a ribbon on it. So you could save ribbon and just put a bow at the top if you would like, but I really liked the added dimension that going all the way around the box made. And my finger slid off of that bow. Let's try that again. Loop, swoop, tuck and pull, and then we'll get our tails the way we want them. Tighten that up and give that bow, we'll finagle this a little bit just to make it look pretty. Okay, and then we'll give that a little bit of a trim. And there you have it. A divided gift box ready to give. And you can just slide this. If you're real careful, you can slide the whole thing. But when you get to the back, it pops off. But if you don't tie your ribbon super tight, you can just pull that off. Open your gift. And then you should be able to slide this right back on. Okay. Well, there we go. I twisted it a little bit, but it can be done. Okay. So there you have it. There is our gift box, divided gift box. I got that all twisted. I need to fix it. It's being stubborn. Being stubborn. Okay. Well, let me fix that. Rosemary Lopez, hello and welcome. Oh, yes. Very good Mother's Day gift. It's a very good idea. All right. Okay, everyone. Well, I should see you back here next Thursday night at 7 p.m. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, I usually am live every Tuesday night at 7. However, this coming Tuesday, October 1st, I will be at my granddaughter's volleyball game. And so next Thursday on YouTube is the next time I'll be live. All right. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. And I will see you again soon. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad to see you, all the new people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good night.